Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. It's loud in here right now because my new Onefinity Journeyman, my new heavy-duty CNC machine, is hanging on the wall and it's carving as we speak. This video is about how we got it hung up and running in this orientation.
The assembly process is incredibly easy and starts out by putting together the Quick Change Wasteboard frame, or CQW for short. Just set the two long tubes parallel to each other, then place the cross members between them, lining up the ends with the holes in the sides of the tubes. Then install the bolts through the tubes and into the ends of each cross member. Just start all the hardware first, then go back around and tighten it all down. Once assembled, this design leaves you with a very rigid frame. The next step is to install some wasteboard strips between the T-track sections of the frame. The instructions came with a cutting guide to help make the most of your material. I needed half a sheet of 3/4 inch MDF, so I hacked that off on the bed of my truck, then brought it in the shop. If this shot somehow looks uncomfortable to you, you're not alone. I almost never cut on the right side of my table saw, but there's obviously more support surface on that side, so to start breaking down a big heavy sheet like this, I'll slide my fence to the left side and make my first cut or two. This way, I'm not fighting so hard to hold the whole sheet up. Once the material is trimmed down to a more manageable size, I'll switch back to cutting on the left side, which I'm more comfortable with, and I finish cutting out the rest of the parts that I need. As I cut them, I put the boards in place between the T-tracks to make sure they fit, but these actually get attached from the underside, so I removed the boards and flipped the CQW frame upside down, then slid the boards back in place. Using a center finding bit, drill pilot holes through the rails and into the MDF, then attach all the wasteboards using the included screws. Now flip the framework back over and we can start swapping out a few components for the wall mount hardware. Remove the outermost bolt from the frame ends, then reinstall the longest bolt and wall mount bushing from the kit. The instructions say these bushings should be facing the inside, but I'll tell you why mine are on the outside in a minute. After you tighten those bolts, remove the inner bolts and swap them out for the shorter ones from the kit. These bolts are a higher grade than what comes installed in your frame, and since the Onefinity is a stout and therefore heavy machine, we want this extra strength to keep the machine up on the wall. On the opposite ends of the pipes, remove the outside bolts and plastic caps. Slide the plastic C-shaped spacers onto the offset handle, then slide the handle into the ends of the pipes. You might need a rubber mallet to convince the parts to slide in. Then once the holes are lined up, reinstall and tighten the frame end bolts. To hang the wall mount brackets, start by making a mark on the wall 6 feet from the floor. You'll have to add an additional 16 inches if you have the Journeyman like I do. Then, using that mark, draw a level line across the wall. Locate and mark a stud on that line. In my case, it was easy because I have exposed nail heads showing through the wall, but you may need to use a stud finder. Measure 32 inches from that point and make another mark. Then verify that there's another stud underneath. Once again, this machine is incredibly heavy, so it's very important you anchor into studs. Drywall anchors will not do the job. Use your level and draw vertical lines through the marks you've made on your studs. Start with the top screw and drive it in through the intersection of your two lines. Line up the remaining holes with your vertical lines and run in the other screws. I used a short magnetic level to make extra sure my brackets were plumb. Now here's why my wall mount bushings are mounted on the outside of the CQW frame instead of the inside. Rather than standard 16-inch stud spacing, mine are 24 inches on center. Luckily, the offset on the wall mount brackets accounts for this, and by just flipping them from hooking inside to outside, everything lines up right. I measured the distance between my brackets and compared that to my frame to confirm they matched up. Then, I asked my wife to help me lift it up for a test fit. With everything lining up nicely, we took the frame back off the wall so I could finish setting up the machine. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this part of the assembly because there are a lot of good videos out there walking through this process already. And to be honest, it's super easy and you shouldn't have any trouble with it. First, the side or Y rails go on, then the X rail goes on top of that. Make sure you follow the squaring procedure that's outlined in your instructions because it's important to make sure everything is lined up exactly right. The Z-slider goes on next, and a new trim router gets secured into the spindle mount. The router's power cable gets captured under the top cap to keep things tidy. Then there are a bunch of wires to connect, but they're all well labeled, so it's really easy. And the monitor mount gets fastened to the front left corner. Then of course, once it's powered on, the first test has to be conducted by children using it like a video game to draw squiggles. And carving out a quick dinosaur has to be test number 2.
So I have had this thing hooked up and operational, and I have been using it in the horizontal orientation for a couple of weeks now. The problem was it is so heavy that my wife and I couldn't lift it up into the brackets on our own. And I was having trouble finding anybody to come help me lift it because it was heavy. It was kind of nerve-wracking considering the value of it. So my dad was just here yesterday, and we took the X gantry off, which is the heaviest component, lightened the load by quite a bit, and then I even used the winch that's still there from when I had an X-carve on this wall. And between the two of us and the winch, we got it mounted, we got the gantry up. I just finished wiring it up, and I want to power it on and test it for the first time and see how it works in this position. We'll run it with the controller and see if we can move it around freely and all that. And then if everything is running right, we'll throw a project into here and watch it cut vertically. Here goes. It's all booted up. The machine wants me to push the home button. I'm just going to try with this first. One thing that's going to throw my brain off is this thing is now turned 90 degrees from the orientation that I'm used to looking at it. Normally I'm just standing in front of it, front, back, left, right. Now I kind of have to stand over here to get my brain right. But hey, we're moving forward. That's high speed, medium speed, low speed, crawling. So high speed, front to back works. Let's see if we can go uphill. Oh, there it is. So I'm close to the front corner. This way it doesn't have to travel as long, and we'll see if it'll home itself. Z's going up. Touches off, we're good. X, because my brain is wrong, running down. I have the power cord on a bungee, so it's still held up kind of out of the way. That was a little more intense than it should have been, but it worked. And Y, wow. I was a little bit concerned that lifting this up and twisting and torquing on it was going to throw it out a square, and then it wouldn't home correctly. You'd have this one off by an inch and that would be right or something like that, but it went perfectly. I am really excited because I used to have it on some sawhorses that took up from just outside of the door all the way over here to where the laser is. This is going to save a ton of space, so I'm going to go throw a project file in it and we'll carve it and we'll see how it does carving this way. Well, there we have it, guys. The Onefinity is up on the wall, which is great because it gives me my floor space back, and it operates in this position, which is also great because it's way too heavy to take off the wall and put it back up as I need it. Some of the smaller models don't weigh this much, so its design is so that you can kind of hinge it out, lift it off those hooks, and set it down. I'm not going to be doing that because this thing is way too much weight for me or even two of us to try to lift and move. It works really well. One thing I've found so far is I'm struggling a little bit with work holding. It's difficult to fight gravity and to hold it here while you clamp it down. In this case, I have a wasteboard clamped to the T-tracks, and then this is just screwed directly into that wasteboard, which seems like it does a pretty good job. The problem is entering these pieces of hardware into really close to that bit is a little bit nerve-wracking. You could wreck a good bit with screws in there. To hold it up there while I ran in screws, I put a little bit of double-sided tape on there, which I think did some good. Anyway, I'm going to have another video in another month or two, or whenever I feel like I'm confident enough to tell you about maybe my work holding strategies, any upgrades, any changes I've made to the setup. I know I need some storage, I need some shelving. I need to figure out the dust a little bit. I like the fact that it's kind of self-clearing, but it does fall down onto that lower gantry rail. I'm not sure if that's a problem or not. We're going to find out. So thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you go and hang up your Onefinities on the wall now, and I'll see you guys next time.